That's probably the amount of time people lose every year on moving from one window to another to manage your employees, and that can be really cumbersome. So we change that. We want to not have to move from one tab to another all the time. It's really a pain. So today I'm gonna show you how we can manage your employees efficiently. I'm Arthur Pierrot, I'm a software developer at Odoo, and we're gonna see that together today. So first thing, when managing employees, we want to manage the contracts of the employee, and in 19 this has changed a lot. So I'm gonna show you right now how does it work right now, and how you can gain time using this system. So here I have my applications. I'm gonna go on the employees app, and I'm gonna create a new employee with a new contract. So let's say I create an employee called Julia, and here I can fill in as many information as I want on my employee. So I can set a job for Julia. I can go into a personal tab, and here I can set many information needed for her personal life and situation, such as her birthday, her birth date. So let's say she's born on the 2nd of February. She's a female. Maybe she is from Mexico. She is single. She has no children. Right now, she is not actually employed. So if I go into the payroll tab, that's now where we can see all the contract information. We don't have anymore a button to create a new contract. This has all changed. The information is now right now on the employee, and I can set her contract. Let's say she came into the company 2 years ago. So I'm just gonna do that and create a date on the 1st of January 2 years ago. And I can save this. And now I have a contract set for Julia. This is as simple as that. No need to create a new record for a new contract or whatever. I can set a wage and some bonuses, but I've already prepared the template here, which will actually fill in all the information I need. So I have already basic information for the contract of my employee. So now let's say Julia changed her job and she will need a new contract. So I will try to create a contract, but first she needs to end the current one. So I'm gonna end the contract in August, and I can now create a new contract. Let's say since September she started on a new job. So here I've created a new contract, and we can see in the top bar both contracts for Julia. So now I can go and change their job. So maybe she's now Chief Technical Officer, and I can save that. And if I move here from one contract to another, I can see the correct information for my employee. I can also change their wage and as many fields as I want. It's actually totally free, and it's easy to use. You don't have to move to change the information from Julia or her contract. Everything is in the same place. If I try to create a contract without having set an end to the current one, it will actually be an error because I need to end the contract. So that's why I first ended the contract. So it's as simple as that, actually. There is nothing more to it. I can even create a contract, previous one. So I actually forgot she had a contract 1 year before. it could be done easily. I can create a new contract. And here I will have a new contract before, and the date is automatically set to the day before the next contract. This can still be changed if it's not actually the correct date. And here we have it. And we can change from one contract to another. Everything is there. And we can also have here a smart button to see the history of the employee with all the contracts, the job, and as many info as we want, if we want to see the wage changes, and so on. So that's basically it for contracts. As you can see, it's really easy, nothing exceptional. We removed a smart button and now it's efficient. But that's not the only thing we introduced. Now, the great part about this is we can have multiple employee records. Employee records, it's actually the set of information about an employee at a specific point. Let's say the employee gets married or has children, we need to report that at a specific time. This is really important when we will do payroll after that. So now let's get back to Julia, and let's say in the next month she's gonna get married. We know it, so let's just say, okay, right now she's single, but I can now create an employee record right here at the top, which will actually create a point in time at which new information is changed. So on October 1st, she's now getting married. This information, I can save it. And as you can see, this is still the same contract, it didn't change. We're still under the same contract, we only changed personal information and our marital status. If I go back to the previous version, she's still single. So this will allow you to actually track your employees' personal information in time and allow you to make corrections for payslips and so on as soon as things changed in your employee records. So I can set many different information that could change, such as all those family related fields, the place she lives in, because some countries have taxes that differs on the state you are in or the city you are in, and this will be kept tracked in payroll. I can create as many versions as I want at any time that I want. So here I have a new employee record now, and maybe she got a child or whatever. This is still kept tracked here at the top bar. I can still see the history of everything, and we can see all those 3 employee records share the same contract, but some of the personal information changed. So now let's talk about payroll, because the point of this is actually to make accurate payroll and correction of payslips. For this, I'm gonna create a new employee. Let's call in Marco. And I'm gonna do the same as before. I'm just gonna set some information about him. He's a developer as well. And I'm gonna also load the same template here to have already some fields set up for me. And now I'm gonna say that Marco is in contract since the start of the year. So Marco is ready for his payroll process, and I can now create a new payslip right here. So now I'm creating a payslip for Marco, and I can compute it. And as you can see, the payslip is computed. Here, as an example, I'm using the Mexican payroll, so all those rules you see is just Mexican rules, but it could be any rules or your custom rules. Then let's say I've confirmed the payslip, and so my month is done for Marco. But now Marco just told me, hey, actually I've just got a child, so it's not accurate anymore, and I didn't report it to my employer, and the child was from 1 month ago, so it needs to be reported. So I'm gonna create a new employee record for last month, and I'm gonna say, hey, actually Marco just got a child. So now, if I go back to my payslips, I can see that there is a warning telling me that this is not the employee record that was used for generating this payslip is not the same one which is valid right now for Marco. So I can adjust the payslip and correct it with the new adjusted information. So let's say I adjust the payslip, and here I'm gonna correct this payslip for Marco. So I'm gonna just click correct, and this has generated two payslips, one negative that will be the actual opposite of the existing payslip, and one new payslip that will take into account the change in the information of Marco. If I take a look into this new payslip, I can actually see here a line for child support with one child for $50 for the employee. Now, actually it was a mistake. Maybe Marco now has a new version. This month he has 2 children, because why not? Let's just imagine that. Actually, let me redo this correctly. I will do a new payslip for this month now. So, sorry, I'm gonna do a new payslip for next month. So I've confirmed it. And now if I go back on Marco, I'm gonna create a new version for next month and say now he has 2 children. Same again if I go on this, where is it now? I'm guessing, yes. So I can once again adjust it. And now I can see, okay, the new payslip. There is actually now 2 children for Marco. So once again, the correct calculation was done to have the correct payslips. So that's pretty much it. This change is really made for the payroll, but not only for that. It's also a way to manage your employee in one place without having to change between many pages, different pages. You can have all your contract information, all your personal information. You can see how everything changed in the time and directly see a feedback in the page of how the information was changed. As well, where you have here information on when the modification was made and on which employee record the modification was done. This is really useful to make sure if someone made a mistake as an HR staff that we can assess it and make some corrections. So now that's the main focus of today. And I'm gonna just ask you if you have any question at this point, and later on I will do a small conclusion.
People were waiting for a long time. So they have plenty of questions actually. So let's see how far we can get. And I think we will need some time at the end to let you conclude. So let's see how far we can get. So the first question is about migrations, or at least upgrades.
Yes.
I think you saw that one coming. So the first question is actually, is the old contract object still existing? And if no, how do you migrate the old contracts to the new versioning?
Yeah, so the contract model is actually still there, but it changed name. So now it's called HR version, but in the upgrade, we actually transfer all the contracts for all employees to employee records now, and they will be automatically added for your employee. So previous contracts, you will now go on your employee and see all the information on the top bar with all the employee records that are now the previous contracts.
So you will also get that beautiful timeline, I guess.
Exactly, you can see when they change job and everything.
All right, thanks. Then I see people are still typing for some of the questions, so I will go further with ones that I saw already earlier. So there is a question about will the last period contract still be usable to generate a backdated payslip, or the backdated payslip, employee payslip, will be using the newest working contract? So does actually the effective date control this case? I'm not sure if it's clear, otherwise
yeah,
I can
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is more about what will happen, and I think you showed us that. What will happen if you have a payslip, and between the time you validated the payslip and the time there was a change, like an effective date in the past, for instance?
Yeah.
What will Odoo do? What will Odoo consider? So how can you correct that?
Yeah. So since the changes will probably be reported to the HR officers, which will then maybe create a new employee record, they can at this point tell the HR payroll officer that some information has changed, so maybe payslips will need to be corrected, and they can directly go to the payslips and adjust them. Also, if you have multiple payslips, you can adjust one, and it will adjust all the future ones accordingly.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know about that. Okay, there is a question more about signatures of the contract. The question is, you have already finished filling in the new details of the contract. When do you send to sign the new contract?
Yeah, so it's kind of about the offers, and this whole flow didn't change. Actually, you can still generate an offer. If you go on the latest employee records, you can still generate an offer. In this case, in the demo, the module for recruitment was just not installed, so the button wasn't there. But you can generate offers and sign them, and it's still the same process.
All right. Sorry guys, I'm skipping some of the questions sometimes because some are more related to his talk than others. So if we have some time at the end, just copy paste your question at the end, and we will answer them. Another one that is very interesting is about how do you know which fields are versions compared to those that are not versions?
Yeah, this is a really good question. So actually, most of the fields are versioned and have a specific date related to them, but some fields just don't make sense to be versioned, and they should be global, like the birthday of the employee, it doesn't change. Maybe the email address too, because even if the email address changed, you still want to send the documents to the correct person. The bank accounts also. So we have multiple fields, but it's mostly intuitive on the way it should be handled. Yeah.
Maybe to complete on that, because in the question I didn't specify, but the question was also about indeed what you just said as an example, the bank account.
Yep.
So you said it's not versioned. Maybe some person for some reasons would like to have it versioned. Is there any way to do that?
Currently, there is not a way to version them, but it could be a feedback that we could implement in the future.
Okay. Technically, is it easy to identify which, without looking at the code, can you see it in a database somewhere, what is version, what not? Or you have to test everything and you
I'm
check?
guessing you could, in debug mode, you could actually see the fields, and if they are related on the version, then you would know they are versioned.
Okay, thanks for the tip. Okay, let me read a bit. Is there a way to compare each version to see what has changed?
Yeah, so it was kind of the history tab, but right now we have not a clear way to see two employee records at the same time. This is user experience. We are gonna.
I think we thought about that one already.
This is something we have in mind, and it's gonna come really soon.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I didn't know about that. Okay, so next one. What's the difference between creating new contract and creating a new version?
So in the interface, it will be just a different button. So we have the button to create a new employee record at the top and the new contract near the contract dates. But behind the scenes, there is no difference. It's just another employee record. The difference could be that the contracts won't match or they match. If they match, they will be always synchronized. And if you change, you set an end date for your contract, then all the employee records sharing the same contract will have the same end date for the contract.
Okay. There is a more specific one, but I would like to hear your answer on that. It's about which version is considered in the pair run. So imagine you have several versions for the same month.
Yeah.
And so you've got one where it's from it's month September. One is from the 10th of September until the 20th. What will happen from the 20th to the end of the month or something?
By
like that?
default, it will take the version that's effective at the end of the month, but you can always change the employee record that is used manually when creating your payslip. So if you don't want that, you can still take another one.
Okay, I think it's time for me to let you the stage and let you conclude, but I see there are some other questions, so we can answer them right after.
Okay.
Thank you again.
So just to conclude, I'm gonna just summarize what we've seen. So you can manage your employees' contract in one place. No need to go through another model. You have all your information on one tab to another. It's really easy. You can now track your employees' personal information in time, and that's gonna allow you to make perfect payslips and adjust them as you need. So after this talk, I welcome you to come see me at the booth, and we can see how much time you can gain on your payroll process.